Hi. I felt guided to come on in my pajamas, as you can see. You know, at my age, it doesn't matter. To share, because, when you wake up, hi everybody, all welcome. When you wake up, have a spiritual awakening, which is happening on earth, the great shift, the great awakening, the end of times, however you want to say it, this is what's happening. Lots happening. It can be quite a bumpy road, and you can see so many need guidance when you've been through this, your shadow work, your thing. There's a lot that you wish someone had told you. There's this one. I tell you what, I could have done with a lot of this advice and guidance when I woke up. It was, and if you have a lot of shadow and trauma, shadow, healing, hurt, trauma, all kinds of things held within the consciousness, the body, you are going to really have a rough time. So you can have a lot of suffering. You've had maybe a lot of karma, whatever the story was. But, so when you woke up, you were shot into this environment without that guidance to understand, how to navigate it and what it is. And it was just, wow. So it was learning the hard way. Big time. And when you first wake up, when your consciousness, self, the body actually, what you find out is also all of this is held within the body. So all of because it's in the character you're playing now. So any trauma, karma, whatever so-called story, experiences, lives that this character that you're playing has had is going to be pushed up, because as the light comes in, the shadow gets pushed up. But what you don't understand is that because the divine doesn't speak verbally, it uses metaphors and examples to show you where your shadow is, and you take them literally. So it's a lot of learning. It's a lot of learning as you wake up. And as the Buddhas say, the Tibetan Book of the Dead is a good example. They explain what these things are. They represent themselves as nasty entities, which we used to think, horned things and all those. That is just a representation of the lowest consciousness of things like fear, anger, hate. It represents actually feelings, energies. So those things represent the lowest, basically mainly the lowest chakra, the lowest. So when you wake up and you have a lot of fear and trauma, you're going to see very nasty things, because that's what it's trying to show you. It's a reflection. This is what you're holding in. You see, so, but you don't know all of this. So of course you see all these dark things and nasty things, and because you're resonating at that level, you see. There's a lot you learn. Wow. And if you do this 4 or 5 years non-stop every day, you're doing your meditations, you're doing your shadow work, you're doing your ask for guidance, divine guidance, and you're looking, not, also listening to others, because that's the same thing. In the beginning, you have learned when you came here in this game, this planet, you're playing Earth Realm. What you have learned is to always listen to others. Listen to your mother, listen to your grand, listen to the school, listen to your teacher. So you always were taught to take advice from the outside and not within. And the best, as the Buddhas and the ones that have achieved oneness will tell you, the guru within, that is the best. So always run it through any advice or through the one within. Now naturally, some advice. When you wake up, you have a lot, you haven't cleared your shadows. So you have all these biases, all the filters. How you see the world is going to be through your filter, your traumas, your bias, your shadow, whatever, beliefs. Your character is only basically made up of beliefs, definitions, concepts. Everything that you've learned and taken in, the conscious mind is. It's like a computer program. The conscious mind is pure, whatever rubbish has gone in is what's held within. So whether it was judgment, punishment, criticism from family members, this is what happens. So you are holding all of this negative density, fear, trauma, hurt, anger, because you believed you were this and whatever. And if someone said something, you took it literally as there's a lot you learn. Wow. Who knows? I'm just talking. It's just coming through. I'm allowing it to come through. So waking up can be quite as I talk about this, the shadow work, the dark night of the soul can be really bumpy. But it's also a great experience if you don't get stuck there. If you, as I say, always ask the guru within. And I'm so glad. Always ask source. Always ask source. Always. When every day your meditation and prayer, ask for divine guidance. Always ask him to show you. Don't go looking for others. When you wake up, you go naturally, because you don't have a clue, you're going to start following high. You're going to start following light workers and other star seeds, But also, please, go and look at the ones that have achieved oneness. Like the Dalai Lamas, like the Buddhas, like the ones that have actually got to that level of consciousness. Because a lot of people are following people on there. I know it's resonance, so you're going to follow them. But then, you're listening to people that haven't got there yet, that don't know, hi, how are you? That, so it's the blind leading the blind, really. So this is mainly for, I would say, newbies, new beginners, those that it's on the consciousness. Your consciousness is going to be waking up. Some are aware of it and some are not aware of it. So the divine, the one, the self, it can only communicate through whatever, and it's going to be different for each one. Some will be, they will hear the voices. Some will be visual. Some will be through tarot, whatever, prayer, meditation. It really depends on the character, how source wants to express through the character. So what you see is you learn to understand what you are seeing, and it's not easy. So this one had a huge amount of shadow, and it hadn't in the story, because remember, you're playing a story. When the character dies, you are fine, you are source. This one falls away, you carry on with another story, a whole new theme, a whole new everything. But now you have to work the puzzle you've chosen. So when you decided to play, it's very tricky. No, but it's not. You know what I learned? This is very interesting. The shadow is not actually really, it's us. When we wake up, this is what happens. This is the funny thing. The minute the newbies, you have your spiritual awakening and you start seeing things, of course, you've got all your shadow, all your darkness, all your fears within you. And you're going to be, if you've got all that shit, you're going to resonate. So you're going to be hitting the lowest thing, and they're trying to show you. But what we didn't understand is they connected to beliefs and emotions, actually. Those things that you see, those entities, are representing what you're holding in with you. Fear, control, normally. When you're in a fear, you are trying to control your life, control this, protect myself. You see, it's all about control. And that's whatever entities you're seeing, so-called, are actually... They symbolize those things you'll see: anger, fear, rage, control. That's what they're actually reflecting back to you, because everything's actually a mirror. But it is really difficult. Yes, absolutely. It's very difficult when you first wake up, because this one had an enormous amount of trauma, fear, shadow, whatever it chose to overcome, karma, whatever. So when it woke up, it hit that. It had a massive, you woke up. Here's the thing, what people don't realize. When you wake up, you're going to be aware of the shadow. That's what it shows you. So now you're able to see and perceive more than you did before. So you wake up, but you're on a lower frequency and vibration because you haven't done your work, and you are now seeing the shadow. And what do people do? So what do they normally, when they wake up, if they got a lot of things, they're resonating what you want to call, they believe the demonic realm, or they're seeing these things, all these bad things, and negative entities, whatever. That's depending on them. This is what they see. Now they fear, and they think that's it. So what you are being aware, you're being made aware of the shadow or darkness. But often they don't realize it's within them. It's reflecting, because once you've done all your work, you will not even see it. You will move out of that frequency, vibration, resonance. It will not appear in your experience at all, because you have healed, released, and cleared it. Until you have, you're going to bump into these things. And they're also lessons. So what we do is, as soon as we see that, when you wake up, you'll become aware of the shadow. It's being reflected in others. So you're going to see, you'll be aware of the nastiness and the darkness going on in the so-called outside world, but that's also within you, you see. So you're going to straight away start, oh, look, they're evil, they're bad. And you're going to, you're going to be straight away, you're going to be aware of the shadow, and you're going to start exactly thinking, this is it, you've got to fight them. They are the bad people. This is the problem. This is what you can see going on the planet, right? Those are the bad people. Those are evil. They are this. And it depends on what side of the fence and what shadow you have. You're seeing these bad, and they are seeing these people as bad. So if you look around, everybody is perceiving who they think is bad. Half believe they are the evil, and this one's evil, and that. This is projection again, because the outside world is only a mirror, you'll learn this, of what is within the self, which means your consciousness, your every belief, definition, thought, feeling, emotion you've ever had in this vessel, that's it. That's what's being reflected to you. So it's very difficult, and it takes years to navigate. Yeah. Well, you got to look at the self too. Hate. That's what I say. I'll get there. I've been guided here to try and help, because it's very difficult. Okay, a lot of us, you got to work through karma, and you got to see what the shadow, what you don't like in someone and hate in someone, is being shown to you. You see, you've got to look at your reaction is the clue. When you react in fear, anger, hate, or any emotional strong reaction, that is unhealed. Because the divine, because this is a non-physical, it's the only way of guiding the self. When you're in the Maya, so-called, in the body and in the illusion, the only way the one, the divine, the self, can guide you is by that, by making the outside a reflection. So the government is the same. It's a collective consciousness. The government in each country and area is representing what is held, the shadow as well, in the collective consciousness. And yet people don't see this and are throwing stones. And this is why, change the government, change, and they think things will change. But it is only reflecting to them, this is what you lot are doing. You are in shadow, or you are in denial, or you are in this, or you are in whatever. They are reflected back to you. But because we were unaware of how this system worked, we threw stones. So we thought it's them, they're the problem. When you wake up, you'll realize this. Have a look around you. Everyone's out for him. He's the problem. Let's get rid of him. They bad. You see, it's the one not seeing. It's showing us what beliefs are held within them. They are corrupt. They are in their shadow, you see. So this is what happens. So you will learn as you rise up that when somebody upsets you, and especially those you have chosen, family members, those close to you have chosen to play a role. If you are seeing them in a negative light, they are bad, they are this, they will not change. Because what you're not understanding is you are that one. So what you say is my truth, my belief. This is why it's reflected back to you. They are bad, he's this, she's that, whatever else. And this is what the person in your reality is going to be playing that back to you. You see, so your mother is reflecting to you, you believe she's bad, she's this, she's that. She's not going to change because you're saying, well, this is what she is. You see, have to change every thought, belief, definition, all the negative. If you don't like what you're seeing outside, you have to understand it is coming from within. And the only way the divine can show it to you, to help you release it, is by showing it. That's why it won't go away. And this is why you suffer. Okay, I hope so. Well, I'm glad. Well, there we are. Maybe this is for you then. See, this is how love works. There's only one on the other side, the divine. There's only love. There's only oneness. And it loves itself. That's why they say service to all, to the self. Because what you serve, everybody is the self, is the one. There's only love. And it's trying very hard to help you. But when you don't wake up like this one, before you have your awakening, right? Before this is shown to you and you get direct divine guidance, when you're looking outside, it's not going to come from outside. When you don't get that, you suffer. This is coming from here. Much as this vessel, this character, suffered immensely because it didn't know, like everybody, that the outside was reflecting a mirror. And you go around and you can't understand why the same things keep repeating, the same habits, the same bad mistakes, the same suffering, the same thing. It's because the fear was within you and the belief was within you. So you are attracting that to you. So it was showing me, you believe you're going to be hurt, or you believe you're not safe, or you believe this, and this is what keeps coming. You're not going to be safe. You're going to be hurt. You're going to be in fear. Someone's out to get me or hurt me, or you know what I mean? This is exactly what reality is showing you. We're going to protect myself. And then it's going to give you things to show you. Yeah, you've got to protect yourself, not realizing it's trying to show you, you are doing this. You are believing you need to protect yourself because you're not safe. So it's going to be sending you things that are going to show you, you know what I mean? Instead of thinking, oh, holy shit, let me change that belief, definition. I don't choose it as my reality, my truth. So then you have to sit there and release. Because what you release, releases you. You see? Ask and you shall receive. Same thing. What you release, you will be released from. So you have to then realize, ooh, I don't choose that as my truth, because I am the one who's going to draw people and things into my life that are going to show me I need to protect myself. That are going to, show me that I'm in danger, because that's what I believe. You see? So it's us having to realize, and this is how it does. It shows you by your hurt, your fear, your unforgiveness, whatever shadow you don't understand. You think everything's, you're the victim. There's no victim. That's the thing. It's showing you. You are creating this. And this is what you don't really know even when you wake up. Yeah, it's not tough. It's easy if you understand this. And Bashar actually channels the best information on the negative belief systems and how the system works. And when you've gone through it, you realize, oh, wow. It's only tough when you don't understand it and you're not asking for help. This is where the tough's on you. This is where you suffer. When you decide, I am the one doing this, you think you are this, and I have to fix it, and you're going to hit that's what I say, you are in a hamster wheel, and you're going to go round and around, and can't understand why nothing changes and things go bad. When you ask, that's the thing. You can choose the divine to guide you, okay? You ask for divine guidance and help. When you ask, nothing can be given. They will not interfere until you ask. So when you call on God's source, however, Jesus, wherever you feel, the divine will come in any way which you feel comfortable with. You see, which they know is best for you. So you ask for the angels, you can, wherever. The divine God, normally you call it angel. So you ask them to please help and guide you. But it's got to come from within. You've got to mean it. You've got to be sincere. When it comes from real, normally you'll be those that, that don't want to listen. When it's trying to wake you up, it will, as I say, you think you have free will, not actually. Because if you're meant to and you're not listening and they're trying to get your attention, they will make it so difficult. They'll either bring you to your knees, where you have no choice, where you think, because you think, I'm the one who's doing this, you'll be brought to absolute dissolution, or your knees, where you really are helpless, and it's like, oh, please help me. Then you will ask for help. If that's what needs to be done, that will happen. But you don't want to, that's what I'm saying. So there's a path of suffering, or there's the easy path. When you ask the divine, the sooner the better, for please divine guidance and help. Please, I want to heal. But it's not about them. When you keep blaming everybody else, problem, then it's thing. Ask and show me. You have to be willing to forgive, let go of you, because this is what it is. It's all showing you. Everything is about you. You have to let go of the anger, the hurt, the blame, the judgment. Because if you keep thinking it's them, that's the illusion. And this is why you keep suffering. But when you just shut up and you say, please help me, give me divine guidance, please show me what I need to release, heal, clear, I forgive. You're going to be willing to let go of those. Forgive those that have harmed you, release that karma so the cycle doesn't carry on, release them from that tie to you, so it's not a tit for tat. Release those that have caused suffering, and ask same thing. You start that process, you'll be guided. Now that is when life changes. Because now what happens, when you want to go it alone, you're going to have fun and you're going to suffer. Why? Because you don't, as I say, you don't understand. Everything's a mirror. It's only trying to show you, and you keep fighting them and blaming them, and it's just suffering. But when you start this path and you say, please help me, and you call in that help, because they're there. Everybody has guides in this dream, in the illusion you're playing as a human or whatever. You have guides. There's angels. There's that. You can, whatever, as I say, depending on the person and belief, it will come, the assistance. Whether you call on Buddha, Jesus, doesn't matter. It will be given to you, which is ever the best for you, okay, to help you. And that will come. But you've got to sit there and you've got to be at it. And it normally takes about 2 weeks at least. You'll be tested. Because you can't say, oh, I want help, and then you carry on. It really must be sincere. When your intentions are sincere and truthful, and it comes from the heart, like you're just... Normally, that's why I say you'll be forced. When you're so fed up of suffering, you'll give up. That's what happened here. Literally. Because you don't stop. You are forced sometimes to stop. You're forced to stop. Because if you're not paying, if you keep going out there and whatever work is, yes, the help will come if you ask, yeah. But you've got to make the effort first. You see, this one was forced to stop, and then it was like, oh, I'll give up, just please help me. And then it started wanting to release the hurt, the anger, and forgive everybody and ask them for forgiveness. Because unintentionally you harm people when you are in the Maya. When you haven't been awakened, you are unintentionally blaming and harming others without realizing. You sit and you ask for that divine guidance, and you sit at it and you keep at it. Every day you sit there until you get an answer. You don't give up. You sit and you'll sit in your meditation or pray and wait, because it will come. Just sit and ask. And out of the blue, all of a sudden, when they see you're not giving up and you mean it and there's intention, you will be shown. Whether Jesus comes down and you'll see and put his hand on your head, whatever happens, it will come in whatever way. However the source will reveal itself to you, it will come. And then you will be like, holy shit. You'll realize this is not a joke, and that you were never alone. And now, you see, you don't have to suffer on your own. You don't have to go it alone. Yeah, you don't. You wait, you'll see. There's no way it'll be denied. You don't have to go it alone or suffer on your own. Ask for the help. That's the difference. So those that are on the path of suffering are the ones that are denying the source, the love, not accepting it, not asking for it, and they'll just keep on going and going, and eventually, whether it's this life or next life, they will be like, oh my gosh, okay. You see, you've got to, and especially if you're so busy, you're not allowing, you keep yourself busy. This is what the lockdown was, and that you see, everything has a divine purpose. It stopped everybody. No busy work. Now is the time to go within. You see, to understand that the world, you are creating it. Otherwise, you'll just keep going around in circles, and the Maya, which they call the illusion, believing the world's out there, and you don't know why these things are happening, because you didn't realize you were creating everything. So the world was forced more than once to stop, to give them time to sit and to think and to look and to ask, you see, and to turn. Sometimes people have to be forced to turn to ask for help, for their own good. You're welcome. So it's amazing when it happens. I mean, this one had no idea before this one was woken up, had no idea. It was just in such shit and in such a bad way. And was, I think, consciously or knew you were going to die. It did die, actually, this one. If you want to call it, had a near death, not actually, it actually died and came back on another timeline. You find this out later, but anyway. it was so much had done here, exactly, so much running around and not understanding and hitting your head against the brick wall and not understanding why these things have happened. And wow, you were eventually forced to stop without it, nothing. You could do nothing, and then just completely give up. You had to completely surrender and trust everything. Because you think you can look after yourself. You don't realize you are creating everything. If you are still relying on the outside world, thinking you have to support yourself, you have to do this, that is the one, divine doing everything. You see, when you're completely forced to surrender, and not sure how you're going to survive, you will find out. That is the one. Everything comes from that. Nothing comes from the outside world. So it is amazing when you do that. Wow. And you will slowly start. But then, as I say, all part of that, you will be shown, you will be... But then life is easy now, because now you have divine guidance. And you will, and when asking, you've got to ask, you will have divine guidance. And when you ask for that divine guidance and help, wow, you will be shown. So when a situation comes up, say, you know, same thing, family problems, trauma, whatever you've had, karma, whatever things are going on. And before you react, before you even speak to them, if you know something's got, you sit there and ask, please show me from the highest perspective, or perceptive and perspective, whatever. You know, from like, what is it that I need to know and see, that you don't react? You see, so before you talk to them, you ask for that divine guidance, so you can see everything in them from that divine perspective. And then you make that phone call, and you be quiet, you will be calm. So you sit and you call the angels, and you call in, ask guidance, so they'll help you through that conversation or interaction. And you sit back, and you will be able to see with clarity exactly what's going on. And you'll be like, oh wow. So you will not see them here with anger, judgment, hate. You will see the truth and why this interaction is going on, or why you had that experience, or why something happened to you. Sometimes it's karma. Okay, well, maybe fear. You see, everything happens for a reason. Sometimes it's fear. What you also feel is sometimes their anxiety. So sometimes that energy you're picking up is their energy. But believe me, when you die, you're so freaking happy. So don't worry about your mother or anyone that's passed away. They are happy. They are so free. Man, it's incredible dying. It is fantastic. I'm not promoting anyone goes off and tries it, because if you're not meant to, you won't be anyway. Nothing is by accident. Everything, there's no accidents. You'll see everything happens for a life and for a reason. But being dead is awesome. Because you realize what you're like, oh my gosh. Well, especially when you're awakened. Let's say dying before you awaken is a little bit more. You need that, but they will help and guide you. But when you realize, when you've had an awakening, and you understand that, you know, that is real sources there, all these things, and you're working with, and you die then, because now you're consciously working with the angels and with whatever. It is so awesome to be dead. They will remember. Because when you leave the body and look back at the body, and you're like, but I'm not dead. That's the first realization that comes to you. The real you, when you die, is like, because when you were as a human, you really believed that you were the body. When you die, you know, well, there we are, and that's you really actually thought you were this. You are not this at all, because when you die and you slowly leave the body and you're looking down at the body, and it comes to me, oh wow, and then you look at the body, and it's a big surprise. You look at the body and you think, you realize you can see the body's dead. I mean, especially if you know what a dead person looks like. And you can see it's grey, so you realize the body's dead. But then what surprises you is that, hang on a second, I'm thinking. I am still me. I'm thinking, I still feel the same. That's the weird thing. You think you're going to change, you'll be something. But when the body dies, so-called the body dies, and you now have left it, and you are looking at it down, and you realize, I'm not dead. Oh, wow. See, because it's part of the Maya. It's part of the illusion too, dying. You never die. You just carry on. So when you look at it, it's a real... Even though this one had its awakening, it was still very on the early journey, still very much, you know, very early. You just wake up and you've got your psychic abilities and this and that, and you're doing this in astrals, but, you know, you haven't worked your way through those levels yet. So let's say you've got your, you know, your normal, I can astral, I can do this, I know I can talk to them, but that was where it was. But you hadn't done there's a lot you had to work and clear through. So it was amazing. Freaking awesome, actually. It was even for this one, it was like, oh my gosh, I'm not dead. But this is what the strangest thing was, understanding that you were the same, the character and the personality was the same. It was like, oh, I'm me. You know, the you that you think you are is still alive. It's like, oh. And then the fun starts. Then you're like, yes, and now I'm free. Because you can go anywhere, because you're not bound by the body. You realize how, it doesn't matter. I made videos about that anyway. You're so welcome. I'll upload it to my YouTube channel. There's many videos on there for those that start waking up. And when you'll see the ones that I first made when I first woke up, there you were wide awake and I was traveling and seeing and I could do all these things, but I had to work through all those, and then it was protecting myself and fear, because you were, you know, at the early stages of the awakening. So you'll see my early videos about overcoming a demonic realm and all that nonsense you have to work your way through in possessions and blah, blah, blah. They're there. And as you can see, so there's a good example of how you progress. For when you first wake up, all your beliefs and how you change and how you rise and how the clarity. But ask for that. Your life will change dramatically. Because now you will be shown and you'll be guided, and you won't be banging your head and suffering anymore. You see? So if you are out there and angry and blaming and throwing stones, you are welcome. There's much there. So if you have awakening, you can go back to those videos and refer, because I went through all of that. The demonic realm, the this, the that, the ETs, the negative ETs, all of that shit. a lot you have to work through. But it's fascinating. All the different, you know, revelations and showings and whatever. Ask, watch your life turn around. When you are willing to make that difference, and purify the self, because this is all it's about. It's about purifying this, returning the love, the light, releasing all the fear and the density, and that we were taught, you know, we don't trust, blocked, we closed our hearts off, all these things. Watch your life change dramatically, big time. All right. There we are. Somebody needed help. So yeah, it's a process, and it's not a quick process if you keep at it. Because the more and more you go on, once you release those, then you've dropped off the fear and control. And then it will start coming with like negative beliefs and definitions that are sabotaging you. You realize that. You are, you know, you're like, oh, then you'll start becoming, you know, it's more aware easily. When you have a thought that's like, and you think, wow, because then you understand then at the end that you are creating everything, because you are the one, not this character, this has no control, it's creating nothing. This is an illusion, this person that you think is here. This doesn't exist, there's only one. You are that. That is the one that is creating your own reality, not the body character. The real one behind it is the God source. That's why they say, when you get to the enlightenment, there is only one here. You don't have free will. That is the truth, because source is playing in order for the game to work. It is pretending it doesn't know any better. It's pretending to be a human, but it's not. This is how powerful you really are. You are that one. And this is what's happening, and this is what's being shown now. And this is what the Great Awakening is about. Is to remember and understand, I am that. That's why it's showing you are creating this. And if you want to, because there's no judgment. All is one. It is equal. The light, the dark, everything is the one. You'll understand this. And they'll tell you this, like the Buddha, all the great enlightened beings will tell you this. There's only one here, right? In order to play the game, you have to have these sides, light, dark, this, that, negative, positive. Otherwise it won't work. So the one is whole and complete as the one. Okay. And to play these things, it's playing all sides. And how it guides itself is by showing that. So it reflects back to you negative belief, and you'll see whatever you believe, watch what comes out your mouth. Oh, they this and they that. And that's why it keeps, and then you realize, when you understand, if I believe and hold that as a truth or definition, even though it's because you think it's true. It's true. Yes, it's true, because it's being reflected to you. This is the truth that you have. is the world that's going to be shown back to you. But when you realize you have a choice and you don't have to see that anymore, you see, that's when you can change it. As they say, when you change and heal, and what you release releases you. That's why they say it's important to know thyself. So when you release that bad negative perception, guess what? You are released from that. That world that hasn't have a hold on you anymore. So then you become much more aware of these negative perceptions and beliefs and things you have about anything. We're talking about the outside even. And this is why humans got frustrated and kept going on circles, and same with governments and policies, and the same thing. Oh, we keep voting, what's the point? Nothing changes. The same thing. It's because it was showing this is what you're believing and doing. It's not going to change. It's because they didn't realize they had the power to change it. And it was just showing you, and you were like, oh, why do we keep, you've got to change. You see? So it really helps when you understand everything is a mirror. And that is how the divine shows us. Because it is neutral. It doesn't, you can create disaster, suffering. We created our own suffering and hurt and death and murder and wars, and we created so much mess. You can create whatever you want because it is only an illusional realm. The real you is unharmed. This character will dies, and there we are, you carry on. So that's why, you see, you're free to create anything. But what you didn't realize, we were creating our own hell and suffering. This is it. This is what now the divine awakening is happening, to release us from our own hell and suffering. This is what's happening. The Great Awakening is trying to release us from our own hell and suffering, which we were creating because we couldn't remember that we were that. And how we played was, it is a reflection. So what comes out your mouth, what you think and believe is going to be shown back to you. The type of people, the family, the emotions. So arsehole down the street won't change if you are judging him and seeing him as an arsehole, because that is the divine. The divine knows exactly what you are thinking. So arsehole down the street, your neighbor that you don't like, on this level is well aware what you think and feel of him. All is known by the one. So he is going to reflect that. He's going to carry on being an arsehole and not nice to you because you are saying and thinking and feeling that about him. But when you see him, ask for the divine love and clear that, and send love and see love. That divine, that soul knows very well you are sending it love and light and kindness. No matter what it's doing, you will see your arsehole around your neighbor will change and will start being nice, and you'll be like, holy shit. Well, you see, you will only get what you send out. Because you didn't realize how powerful the real you is. This is an illusion. So as long as you keep seeing the face and the mirror and the thing and you believing this is you, you didn't understand what was going on. You're just a character that's being used. And this is why, let's say, anybody that you dislike or hate, whatever, is well aware on that level what you think and feel. That negative energy, dense, dark energy, hate, darkness, which is dark shadow, is being sent to them. They know that you are sending it because there's only the one. And that's why it comes back. Boof. Arsehole, arsehole's going to carry on being an arsehole too. And you're going to attract more arseholes, you see. Because you are creating them and they're showing you, all right, you want to keep doing that. Would you rather have lovely people around you? Lovely, kind, caring. Now, if you believe that, send that, and think that everybody is lovely, kind, caring, compassionate. And believe me, watch it. You start reprogramming the subconscious. You release it consciously, willingly. Release all of that nonsense, all of that projection. You clear it, release all of it. And you start affirmations to reprogram this mind, right? The program, the self, which is only the self, but it's full of shit. Reprogram it. And everybody is kind, helpful, compassionate, this and that. And watch a month or so, because it's going to test you. And you really, now you've reprogrammed it and it becomes an absolute truth to you, right? You can keep saying it, thinking it. So you're now cancelling all those negative momentum and thoughts. And you are now holding this as a truth, energetically, emotionally, everything, because you're now reprogrammed and you're saying your affirmations. Everybody I meet is always kind, helpful, friendly, and collaborative. And watch what happens, because you will experience that now. And I'm talking from experience, because I've done this plenty. I've gone out to play experiments and test to see. And I'll go downstairs and some neighbor will bring up my parcel, and this one will open the lift, and that one will offer to help carry, and you're like, wow, this is cool. You see, we are capable, because we are the divine, of creating the most incredible world. But at the moment, most are being exposed to the light, but are not willingly asking for help from the divine, not understanding, yes, you can get it. You should only be asking. You must ask direct communication. You do not need to go through anybody else. You need to ask, and the divine will guide you what you need to do, how it's best to communicate with you. It will come. You'll be guided. Everything will be guided. The doors will be opening instead of slamming in your face. You see? So what we didn't understand is we caused our own suffering. The world outside, what we create, is being reflected to what we have been creating. But we kept getting upset and help, help, help. And they were like, you don't need any help. That's how powerful you actually were. You see, you thought that was, yes, that's where the separation idea, God was someone else. Because you knew you weren't this. Even on intuitive level, to whatever level, you know you are not this body-mind. You see, you know this is not the divine. Because this isn't. This is only an illusionary mask, a disguise the divine is wearing. You are that. And that's the problem, what we didn't understand. So we kept blaming and throwing stones, and then we can't understand why the elections carried on, the same cycle carried on, because we believe, oh, look, they're bad. Oh, look, they're this and that. But not realizing, if you look around your society, you will see they're no different. So the government is reflecting to you, you all corrupt and nasty and hateful to each other and and divided and whatever else. And that's being reflected to us, you see. Divide, blame, division, hate, all this. So those that don't want to suffer, because what they say, seek and you shall find, ask and it will be answered. But so people thought, I just ask and there we are. Because you think you can ask for what you want. You don't know. You cannot see, this character can't see down the line. But when you ask for divine guidance and help and whatever the greatest good for you, you will be taken care of. The doors will open. But it's using you got to understand, if you start asking for wisdom helps. That's probably the best advice I can ever give anyone, is ask for the wisdom and clarity. Because then you will know what to ask for. Because what we don't realize too, and we just ask, but we don't think very carefully about what we're asking for. We've really got to reflect on what we want, see out there. So we ask the question exactly, because of exactly what you want and intend, exactly what you will get. So sometimes we don't get what we want because we don't realize it's us. Or we've got a belief we can't have it. If we believe, this is a lot. So it's a lot of working through. You will, first of all, self-judgment. You don't believe you can. You don't think you're worthy. All these things will start being pushed up in the right time. Thank you. Just guidance. It's the one. It's a self. You just hearing your own reflection. So yeah, it is. This is what is very sad to watch what's going on out there, because those that haven't worked through their shadow, don't understand this, are getting very angry, and then they are believing. You see, you wake up and you see the darkness. The more you rise, you will be aware. Oh, absolutely, of shadow of all things. But the wisdom is, when you get there, is not to hold judgment, to see it as the divine. Because you understand you are the light and dark. The divine uses the darkness to expose itself at the moment, very much. The source, the darkness, is being used to do the divine's job, to crumble what doesn't serve, to bring down what doesn't serve us, to expose the shadow, all these things, and exposing itself actually. So sometimes you might look out there and not understand what is going on, because you are seeing it from a base, you haven't done the work fair and things. But if you are worked and you're holding no judgment, because you understand there's only wholeness, only one here, you can see with clarity. If you ask for that, you can see with clarity, with love, without judgment. You are able to see what is going on, but not from a negative. When you're seeing it from a shadow perspective, you're going to throw stones. That's what's wrong. They need to go. He's bad, 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 and that's it. You see, you're not seeing it, then you cannot see the whole picture. When you drop that and you understand the only one player here, you ask, see, it's the same thing, ask for that wholeness, to see it from a place of neutral, no judgment, no attachment. So that means you are not attached, blame, anger, hate, who's good, who's bad, to nothing, but only from the place of wholeness and one. You will be shown all, but you will also then see what needs to change. You will see it from a solution basis. So you will understand, you will see the bigger picture of how you can bring the unity and help. You will be able to see, you see, the solution, because you are looking at it from here. So you will be able to see how all can be united, the love, the solution, the joy. That's what you will see. So you will be aware of all of it, yes. But the shadow will have no, you know what I mean, no effect on you, or you won't be at all, because you'll understand, then you're seeing it from the divine perspective, why. And if you know source, the one, you know there's only one, you have that love and faith, trust. You know that the divine, because it is the one, the shadow is as much love as it loves the self, the light as much. It's only playing the role in here. But on that side, it's one. So it's playing a role as the shadow to help the bigger picture. So then you will understand what you see going on out there. You won't worry about it, because you'll know it might look like, ooh, but knowing the love of the one and trusting in the divine, you will know it's going to work out fine, because all the divine is doing is using the shadow. It's got its karma, for sure. What you put out is what you get back. So if they are trying to destroy their opposition, it's going to come back to them, and they will destroy their own selves, their own businesses, their own country. You see, whatever you are tempting out, trying to sabotage other people or do other, it's going to come back to you. It's very simple. That's calm. And you only have sympathy, because you will see what they're doing, and you will just think, oh my gosh. You see, you only know they're bringing suffering to themselves in their own country and their own everything, individuals. You will not judge. You will not judge. You will not hate. You will not blame. If you're willing, you release attachment, release judgment, release all of that. You will see how the one is using this, how it's navigating the awakening, how it's using the shadow, because you say what you're saying will come out, they will be exposed. So what they push out will come back to them. And you will only have sympathy, because you know what they're doing is they're going to suffer. You see, if you understand how it works, you know what anyone is doing, even them, you realize they're going to suffer, and you feel sorry for them. You do not revel over any suffering. You do not point fingers. You do not, throw stones at anything or anyone. You understand they are bringing darkness and suffering to themselves, but also they are playing a role here. You see, because the love, the divine, the light is unity, is a harmony. It will not purposely go and destroy the shadow or bring out, because it doesn't do that. It's not the light. The light won't go around seeking to point out, throw stones, to blame, to hate, to project, oh good, they got what they deserve. It won't do that. So the shadow needs to be used, you see, to expose the shadow, to fight them, whatever. Everything. What you might, that's what I say, if you are only seeing it from bias, from filters. So you think, oh, that's not what I want. You don't understand what serves, what's for the highest and greatest good. So as far as this whole earth plan goes here, it will go exactly according to which each one wants. They will get what they put out, whatever. And the divine will guide what is for the highest and greatest good. You see. But when you understand what's happening, you're able to see what's going on globally on the planet. You're able to understand everything without judgment. So there won't be emotional attachment, hurt, anger, blame, hate, nothing. You ask for that. You've got to release it too. Remember, what you release releases you. End of story. So there won't be. Now you're able to sit and from the vision of the one, the divine, hold that, because everything's only one, wholeness. That's what you ask for. You will see it as wholeness, as love, as divine, and you will understand. And you will see the oneness seeks unity. So you will see how to unify, how to bring peace, how to bring love. You see, you'll see the solutions, not the problem. Different thing. And you will not ever want to throw a stone for those playing darkness, because you will know the suffering they're bringing upon themselves is, oh, wow. You know that. You very understand karma. You also understand if you have going through this, that's it. It's lessons. Because I'm saying, if you're not awake, you're going to keep banging your head. So this is why they call karma, but it's lessons. It keeps repeating. Why does this always happen to me? Why do I always find the answer? Why? Because it's you. Don't ever look outside, because you are making that situation. So the same on the global scale, you see. Okay. And you realize what they're doing is going to come back to them, and they're going to suffer. So you only have love and compassion, because you realize they don't have a clue what they're doing, you see. And they're playing shadow, they're playing a part in the role, but in the Maya, they will suffer as people, as individuals, for what they do, to come back to them. When they leave the body as the one, no. Depends on what they hear. Depends on what's here. But the best is to ask, well, you see what you're saying? Then you've got to ask. It's not only want love. You see, there's another thing. You see, you're denying the shadow. Anyway, but that takes time. It's all one. It's all one. That's within you. You're cutting yourself off from it, and you've got to see why. You see, and by saying I only want it, but it evades me. You see what I'm saying? By saying I only want love, but it evades me. Remember, you are creating this. So what you are saying to the divine is yourself. That's who, the real one. I only want love, but it evades me. So that's exactly what you're saying. Well, it evades me. So it's going to keep evading you. How can you have love when you say you haven't got it? Do you understand? So, here's an example. This will help you when you start off to identify where your problems are. If you go to my YouTube channel, the link's in the bio. If you go to my TikTok, you'll see there's a link thing there. You can't make more, so I've linked it to my YouTube. And you go down there, there's a challenge I gave people on TikTok a while ago, last year sometime, I think. It was to do affirmations, exactly, to reprogram these things. You start those, and you will start seeing where the problems are. Because when you say, I am love, which what you truly are, and you feel hurt, you feel sadness, you feel any restriction, you feel not comfortable, you'll know. When you don't feel it, it just doesn't resonate. That means you're holding a belief in you, definition, belief, fear, that you are not love. You see? So by doing these affirmations, it pushes up, it makes you aware of where your self-worth issues, a lack of self-worth, your fear is. Because when you start saying them and you do not believe it, you will know, you'll feel it. You see, because you'll say it exactly, but I don't believe it. It doesn't feel, yeah. You'll feel like a parrot. And what feels uncomfortable or what pushes up makes you want to cry. So it will help you expose your lack of self-love, self-judgment. Just understand one thing. Everything is about you. Everything. That's what I'm saying. Self-love, self-judgment. Everything is reflecting back to you. Where you don't love yourself, where you don't feel good. You know, every thought, definition and belief and emotion is being reflected back. Watch what comes out your mouth and watch what you think. See, start asking for help and guidance, but you gotta mean it. If you don't want to, if you really want it, your life will be a breeze. So it's a choice. You can carry on suffering and going in circles and hitting your head and struggling and and having and all kinds of problems, and that's it. Or you can ask for divine help and guidance, and willingly, because you've got to look at the self and everything we're talking about, in every circumstance, in every interaction, it will be shown to you. So there's some, but that's what I say. That's why if you look at my YouTube channel, you'll see where this one started off. Protect yourself, and how to protect yourself and your energy and all these things, and there lots even before then, but never mind. Before then, yeah, wow, this one was holding so much shadow and density in it. When it woke up, wow, it faced the darkest of the dark. It was quite a frightening experience, I must admit. Wow. And it battled some really dark things. Woo! Big time. Because it had to overcome. And it was shown to you eventually. You see, you're tired of fighting now. Because what you're doing is fighting with yourself, actually. You're fighting the shadow. You're fighting with yourself. So you kept on battling these things, and all you were doing was fighting with your own shadow. That's what was eventually shown to you. You get tired of fighting the darkness. Eventually you realize, okay, all is the one, you see. It'll be shown to you. So it's funny when I go back through my first videos. Some aren't all on here, some on Facebook even. Wow. But life is very difficult when you are trying as a human. You think, I am doing it, I did the hard work, I achieved it. No. This is just a character. You did nothing, actually. The divine's doing everything. But it's the ego wants to take claim. You think you are, There's no you, actually. And when you die, you discover that one. Bloody awesome, I must admit. Shit. Freaking awesome, actually. So that one, and that's also, you'll learn, is also is an illusion, part of the story. Because when you listen to the gurus, Buddhas, and those that have reached that level, there are many actually, because this is where we're going now, many are on the non-dual path, have lost the character. Their character has fallen away, and they'll tell you no one's there. All is the one. But it takes some going on. It is quite a shock to the system. It really does. It is quite a wow. Yeah, anyway. But it's an incredible journey, and you will only suffer when you resist and when you're not asking. And I tell you what, if you sit every day and you communicate with Source, pray, meditate, however you do it. This one's visual, so meditate. My mind comes through visual, like a movie. Basically, yeah, some others. But if you sit and ask through everything, so when something upsets you, whatever happens, and you realize you're saying that, negative things, or why you're having, say, a problem with someone, that they just, this person is just, wow, not pleasant, and you just won't go. And then you realize, it's because I am so used to them being like that, and my belief is they are that, they've got a problem, they're not going to, you see. So they are showing up in my reality as unhealed, as damaged, as broken, because I keep saying they are. So they won't change. This is the problem. And then you realize, I'm the one who's actually creating them. I'm keeping them as this bad person. So how can they change? Because I'm saying they are. I'm saying they are troubled, they this, they that. So how can I experience a different version of them? I won't. In my reality, I will only see them as that. You see? Sometimes, as I say, if you haven't got, the lessons haven't been seen, this is why you say, you can end the lesson of karma when you ask the divine, help me, please show me. Now your karma will come to an end, because why? You will be shown why they are doing that to you. Oh, maybe you did that. Oopsie. Maybe okay, that was karma. So I had done that to them before, or in a previous so-called story life. You see? So this is why, because this is the end of the karmic cycle, the end of times, all of it's being dished up now. It's very noisy out there. Well, it's payback time for everyone, because the end is coming soon. We haven't got much time. So everyone's trying to, a lot of you chose to take on this life as much as possible, to transmute it as fast as possible. So A lot of us chose a lot of suffering in this life. Why? Because we wanted to try. We took on, when you veiled, you took a lot more than you could chew on, you thought. Because so you could transmute it and you could rise as fast as possible, you see. You don't realize that. There's no, well, you see, in the truth there is no learning because you are the divine. There's nothing to learn. You are perfect. But because you are eternal, you dream. This is what you do. Because there's nothing else to do. There's no such thing as time, right? It's eternal now. You create these stories. They're different stories. So you can play. And you are only one, as they'll tell you. And you are creating everything. So this one's going to play a tree. And I'm playing a rock, and I'm playing a human, and I'm playing an ET, and I'm playing whatever, everything. Around you is energy. There's nothing but you. So yeah, there's not learning. Yeah, in the game, you're creating the story, but there's no learning. You are everything. You know everything. You are everything. Not only know anything, but you are everything. So you are creating it. That's what I'm trying to say. You are absolutely creating it. If you believe you need to learn, you will learn. Whatever your beliefs and definitions are, because that's who you are, that's what I'm saying. It's always being reflected to you, so you can say, well, do I feel like thinking? Do I want to carry on believing I'm in a school? You can, and you get tired of that, and then you will start. You see, whatever you define and choose as your truth, I'm this, I'm not, I'm strong, I'm weak, I'm a victim. That's what you get. I am that, though. You're that. You're playing this. Because I say, this is not there. This is not you. This is another thing. It takes quite a while. You need to experience that. Because until you experience that yourself as the one and you realize this is not, this is what I'm saying. It's difficult to get to separate this. Because you are playing the character, it's so difficult for you to get out of the fact that I am this, to even see yourself, you know what I mean? It's just such a program. It is, the Buddhas will tell you and the enlightened ones will tell you. It is one of the hardest programs. You can reprogram all these other things and release all these other things and beliefs and all this other, but release this. This is one of the most ingrained programs that I'm a human, I'm this, I'm that, I'm me. That is it. Because you chose to play that. You veiled yourself and you say that and you project this holographic projection of a person out there. So you have willingly, as the one, chosen to put this on, and you chose that belief that you are real. Otherwise, as what's the name says, it won't work. So you are believing that you are really real and this is a real world. That's how you maintain the illusion of this holograph Maya. You maintain the Maya by believing with absolute truth. This is your most core belief, that I am real, the world's real. So you cannot see the world as a holographic projection because you really believe you exist. You exist, but not as this. Not as a body mind at all. And that's what they tell you. But it is a hell of a journey. So I encourage all, because there's much suffering for those that are blaming and throwing stones out there and not understanding that the governments are reflecting. And when you realize then what your governments are reflecting back to you, realize as a society you have a lot of changes. And the more that carry on denying themselves are going to carry on seeing the same or experiencing the same negative experience and trouble. You see, because they're not realizing it's a mirror. They're playing a mirror. And everything, even each individual is playing a mirror to you. Your own thoughts are playing a mirror, your own beliefs, your own experiences. Yeah, well, you see, there's another thing. They aren't suffering because they are still the source, right? This is what most people, we don't realize. It's easy to believe I am the divine, but they are not. Everyone is. So if the divine, as I say, it's free will. Once it realizes, it will ask itself. When it's ready, as I say, you have to ask. It won't intervene because you are creating what you want. You don't need help. You are that perfect. You are choosing your reality. So they are choosing that, or they are rejecting the help. You see, because I don't need help. This is the program running. I'm perfect. I can survive on my own. I'm a survivor. I'm so tough. There we are. Eventually, however, you come to, and if it's like this one, it's not hard to put you will be forced, you hit a brick wall at such a speed. And sometimes you die, in the process, because it's like, you're trying so hard, it's always about you see. The more density you have, the harder it is to see through. So however it comes, sometimes you will leave the body and come back in the next life. However, it doesn't matter. Because, as I say, it depends. You keep creating more karma, well, it's not going to, However, when your time is, as they say, when your time is, it will come. But you can change it by asking. That's the thing. So we cannot intervene. Yes, our energy is definitely affected, but you shift. You don't shift on. You see, because it's yourself. Everything's about you. You will see. You will not experience. If you still believe everyone's suffering, then you're going to see it as well. You're not understanding. It's a choice. Like your choices, your lessons. When you wake up, you realize and shown everything, and then you understand exactly the same's happening there. Whatever lessons they've chosen, whatever they're creating this cycle of suffering and reflection and denying their own shadow, denying whatever, because they don't want to yet, or they're not ready to wake up, or they're not meant to wake up now. They have chosen in this time the one to play the shadow, because not all, could you imagine if we all chose to play the light? The game would be over. So we all, just saying, Source decided, I'm going to play light. After a while it'll be very boring. Because you're all running around, I'm happy as angels. And after a while, can you imagine a dream? Exactly, or the same thing. Here's an example. Marie Antoinette. Let them eat cake. If you had to have cake every single day, after a while, you ain't going to like it. It's going to be like, no. You see? You don't know the one. That's why they created duality. For the one to be able to know the other. It's a balance. What we need is here. The light and dark are equal and are balanced. You see? When you reject one, you're stepping the scales. Be at peace with whatever, as they say. So yeah, we think they are, but that's our own thing creating it. If we think the world's messed up and destroyed, and that is what is going to be reflected back to you. You see, I'm living in a world that's past it, it's destroyed, it's damaged, it's oh my gosh, well that's what's going to be reflected back to you. You are saying the world is destroyed and damaged and polluted, and beyond repair. That's exactly the world, because you are creating it all, you will be living in. The world is not damaged, doesn't need your help. There are many versions of Earth, as I say, and planets which are perfectly healthy and perfect. No climate catastrophes, nothing. Not many people are probably choosing that version. They don't realize there's a choice, you see. So, as I'm saying, everything's a reflection. Everything. You're saying the world is damaged and this and whatever. That's what is reflected. You are saying they are bad. That's what's reflected to you. You're saying my cousin is. That's what's reflected to you. Everything we are creating. Everything. This is what you don't understand. The outside world is only a reflection. And I'm talking about the outside world, the planet, the politicians, everything is a reflection of the collective consciousness. So if you go around telling everybody that the world is doomed, well, and you're selling that fear to the collective and they believe it, they will be on a planet that is doomed. And that's what they will experience. And when they leave their body, they'll be like, hey, we did, yeah, all right. You see, and then you'll come back, well, again to try the lesson again. So yes, you can destroy the world you're on. If you believe it's doomed and it's on that one, you've chosen to say, I'm on that. This is the world that I believe I'm on, right? It's going to come to an end. It's going to be destroyed. That is the experience you as a being will experience. But there are that are not. So that's what I'm saying. We understand everything is a reflection. So that most, because we were in darkness, still don't get this. We are reflecting as you see outside, most reflections at the moment are of shadow, are of fear, are of the negative. Yes, exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. You don't have to choose that version of Earth. So what will happen is you will shift and experience a version of Earth which is paradise, because there is heaven on earth. There's no climate catastrophe. But if you have, out of fear, that's a resonance, choosing catastrophe and disaster and war, that's what you will experience. Do you understand? Because that's what I'm saying. It's a reflecting to you as that one, what you are creating. Each one is creating their own. That we'll see. Literally your own universe, your own bubble. But so you are experiencing those individuals in your bubble. And I can experience them as absolute wonderful, beautiful, wonderful people. Happy, joy, unity, cooperation, kind, collaboration. You see, that's where it will happen. Really. This is really what's not sinking in. People think we are creating our own reality, but the world, we have no effect on the planet. We have no effect. No, no, no. Everything. If you say the earth is doomed, that's the version of earth you will keep on experiencing until you change your, because that's a choice, your belief definition. No, I don't choose that. I choose to see the earth as beautiful, clean, Eden, paradise, green, abundant. There. Yes, the end of days means the end of that time. You see, the end of the days of the old, of shadow, of being in the illusion, of being in the shadow, are ending. This is why everything is being pushed out and having to be dealt with now. Because you are moving into a high light, into the peace on earth, heaven, 1,000 years of peace, all that sort of thing. That's where we are going. But how long you take to get there is your problem. As I'm saying, you are creating it. So the sooner you start working on the self and the healing and forgiving, and as I ask, because everything's a reflection, everything. That's how it is showing to you. This is how we navigate reality or life. This is how it was created, as a mirror. So we could see, oh, okay, no, I don't want to do that anymore. Okay, let's change that. Oh, shit, I've got a belief that I'm going to be sick. Or I've got a belief that I can get sick. Or I've got whatever. I believe I'm unhealthy. So I will be unhealthy. I've got a belief that whatever, everything. You see? That's all it is. So what you think, feel, and experience is a guide. It was supposed to be a guide to show us. Oh, whoopsie, no. Actually, no, I don't choose that anymore. I choose to see a beautiful government that is there for the people. But if I carry on saying they are this, they are that, because I am saying the government is bad, that is what I will keep being shown. I believe it because this is what I'm used to, so I keep repeating it, and this is what keeps coming back to me. You see? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It won't always be, is what I'm saying. It won't, because you have free will. It won't be boring. There'll always be those that'll choose experiences or lessons, you see. Love is far from dangerous. Love is what we actually are. Love, that's all you are. You exist as an energy, a frequency of love. That's your core existence. And this is why you get depressed and you feel bad or not nice when you feel or believe things that aren't. Why do you think so-called being depressed or being angry or whatever doesn't feel good? Because it is not you. You see, everything, the real, the divine, the one, the love, the God, the source, is only love. That is the frequency. That is what you are. So that is why being other does not feel good. You see, because what it's trying to show you is that you're out of alignment with who you are. Because as the one, as the divine, you are only love. Unconditional love. That's all you think and feel. You are just a frequency. So when you are feeling the shadow feelings, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel right. That's why I don't feel nice. I don't like it. You see, all the negative, because you know it's not you. And that was also a guidance. See, so the emotions and the energies are guiding you. So when you don't feel good, you don't feel happy, you realize I'm out of alignment with myself because I am pure love and divine. So I feel any other emotions, they feel shit because they are not true. That's why they don't resonate, because the truth is I'm only love. So anything that doesn't feel good is exactly, it's another reflection. This is not true. This is not who you are. Do you understand? This is why we don't feel good, because the negative feelings are not true, because you are only the one, the love, divine wholeness. So that's what I'm saying. Everything's a mirror. The emotions, they're not emotions, they're energy in motion. They're not yours. All energies, feelings are showing you, as Bashar will tell you as well. This is why you feel not nice, because it's not true. This is not who you are, what you are. So you mean you've got a definition and a belief which is not true to the you, the divine. It only feels love, and that's why we don't feel nice when we get angry, upset. Why? Because it is not true to us. It goes against the truth of what you are. You are the divine one, love. You are pure love. You are pure light. That is God's source. This intuitively everybody knows. Why do you think everyone seeks God or source, the divine, the love? Because they know. You see? And the others are reflections. The mirror behavior is another way. Everything is trying to show you. Everything is trying to show you. You see, how to navigate. No, that's not right. No, that's wrong. By what you think, by what you feel, by others' behavior, what you think of them is reflected back to you. You see? Because it's what they say, what you're creating it, what you send out is what comes back. He's an arsehole, right? So now if you think that, you think Mr. Arsehole is going to all of a sudden be Mr. Nice Guy. No. You've got to change that. You've got to hold that. You are sending that energy out. And it comes back. Watch what you do, behave, think and feel, and watch how they will change. You see? No, I've read nothing on the spiritual side, I must admit. My awakening was from deep shit and suffering, darkness, to boom. It's like from one extreme to the other. It was like from 0 to 100, and no spiritual teaching backgrounds, gurus, no. The only book I ever read was The Prophet when I was younger, by Khalil Gibran, I think. Loved it as a kid. I was a teenager. That is my the Bible, yes, obviously. There were only 2 sections that I really liked, that resonated with me. One was the wisdom, and there was another one, I can't remember, anyway. But you always knew love. You knew intuitively, you see. Corinthians 13. Love. Even the Bible says, it's written in metaphors. When you wake up, you understand the Bible. Before you wake up, you didn't, because you took it literally. I realized that as well. When you get to a certain level, you'll understand what really the Bible story is. It's written in metaphors that you don't understand. We took them as literal. And they're not. And even as a kid, I knew that wasn't right. I thought something's wrong there. You knew that. You'll understand. That's why Corinthians is at 1:13. Love is absolute truth. Without that, because that's source, there's nothing. You see? Because it is everything. It is existence itself. Vibrates, God's source. Not talking about in the Maya, because this is a dream. Out of the dream, the existence itself, the God source, vibrates at love. And if you do not have love, that's why they say you have nothing. You see, because you are in shadow and darkness, you are in suffering, you are in hell, basically. That's it. That means you are without the self. You are separated. You are in rejection of the self. And that's why you feel suffering and pain. And why do you think we feel suffering and pain and sadness and all these things? Because we are separated from ourselves. We are separated from the love that we are. And those feelings are trying to guide us. We feel shit, we feel, because we are separate. We have separated from the divine because it's only that frequency. That means we are in contradiction to our true existence, our true self. We are in resistance. We are in battle with our true self. Really, that's it. Anyway, here we are. I hope that helped anybody or somebody. Really do. And you will see. So hopefully this will explain, because like as I said, this one had no guidance. It woke up from great suffering without any guru, without any teacher, without any guidance, that's it. Nothing. And luckily, I always asked from I was always asking SARS, please show, and I was careful to follow other people. This is what's good, they bad, to listen to the outside. I'm very glad. Because I asked for divine guidance, I asked for wisdom. There's another thing, manifestations. People are always asking for, I want this, I want that. Love, compassion, wisdom, and clarity. Very few bother to ask for wisdom and clarity. It's an affirmation too. Because then that helps you guide. If you're going around and, exactly, because that's the ego. Me, I can do that, I know this, I'm going to do that. But if you ask for wisdom and clarity, before anything else, that will help you know and guide everything. You see? Ask that. And that comes only from the divine, not from the conscious mind, the program, because this is only fed. This is what has to be cleared, and this is what happens when you wake up, is what I'm saying. You realize, and then when you do understand it and start practicing what I'm saying, it becomes so easy. It becomes so easy, because the minute someone upsets you and you react, and then you're like, okay, let me go, because now you know this because you've done it for long enough. You'll go home and you sit and you meditate and you ask, please show me what it is that no longer serves, that I need to release or clear, about this, or you'll learn as well. As I say, you'll be guided words, what to clear, whatever. It'll become easy, and then you'll be shown, all right, this is where that hurt comes from. It came from you were a child, and I can't remember. There's so many. I mean, you've been doing this for so many years. Trust me, you've gone through so much garbage in your closet. Childhood trauma, your school, your sister did that, your mother did this, your granny did that, whatever, Where it comes from, it really surprises you. Yes, exactly. It's incredible what comes out, because these beliefs come back. I mean, it's amazing. You had no freaking clue where it comes from, that hurt. And when you're shown it, you ask, because you realize, I'm upset. Why I'm upset? Why is this hurting me? Whatever. So you've hung on to something because in grade 1, so-and-so did this. It's incredible what comes out. I'm like, oh, holy shit. You don't even remember any of that. There's self-blame and self-judgment. You see, you need to sit down and ask for it. You see, you're not letting go of it because you haven't learned. See, the pain and the lesson will not leave until you have seen it and understood it in clarity. So this is why you're saying you're sitting in this horrible and this pain and thing it won't go. It's because you have failed to see what that lesson was trying to show you. So what will happen if you don't, it will calm down, and in 2 years the same situation will be given to you again through another person. So you can have the same, oh, wonderful, I'm in love, whatever, and the next person comes along and it's going to end the same way. Same cock up. Just a different person, slightly different story, but the same, experience. And then, oh, I'm heartbroken again. It's because we are not seeing the lesson. No lesson can clear. This is what I'm saying. Everything's a reflection. So watch. You got to sit down now and ask for divine help and guidance. Without bias, because you don't think it's all about them, it's all about you. Nothing to do with them. They are playing a role for you. So the blame and the hurt is not out there. It's you not loving yourself, or you seeking outside, or you attached. You see, it's attachment. I need somebody else to make me happy, where you don't. You need to, when you understand who you are and get this divine love and guidance, the need for other people will vanish, because your love you've blocked from the self, you're saying, will be flown in, and you will have that love, and you will not need. The need will go. It's an attachment. So whatever that lesson is, maybe it's an attachment, a desire, maybe it's a karmic thing, it could be anything. What you are not seeing is they are trying to show you, that person was trying to show you problems, maybe boundaries, hurts that you have within you. And because you haven't seen it, you're in pain and suffering, and because you're attached and not letting go of that, let it go. You're dragging the story around, it's weight. You're carrying weight that you're not meant to, and that's all it's trying to show you. See, that's it. You've got to figure out what you need to release and heal from that situation, so it doesn't keep occurring and you don't keep suffering, and you can release it. Because once you are shown it, is mind-blowing. Wow. And it will not be what you think at all. Sometimes you've been through a horrendous situation and suffering, and when you're ready, it will be shown. Sometimes your whole life, all the suffering you went through, and you sit there and you burst out laughing because you are amazed why you chose that. And it's like, holy shit. And then that suffering disappears, because it's just you don't understand. You see, you haven't learned. You haven't seen it clearly. So if the lesson hasn't been seen, you cannot release it. That's all it is. You see, there we are. So most of it coming from the earth, the density we were in, is so much persecution, judgment. You were taught you're not worthy, you're not good, you're not deserving, you're a sinner, you are this, you are that, you don't listen, you're naughty. Who knows, all this shit, all these projections from, believe me, from this earth that we are leaving, the third dimension, was all trauma, all projection, all hate, all judgment, it was all in shadow. We were in the planet was in such density and darkness. And it was all spewed and fed into you by your parents and grandparents, not understanding the mirror. And this is why you are awakening, and when you do, sometimes you've chosen to transmute this from your ancestry. So you each will have chosen different things to overcome, that you will see in your family patterns very clearly. As you do this work, you'll be bloody holy shit. You will start seeing, oh my gosh, all my family had this. Wow. All my friends had this. So that reflection was there all your life and you had no freaking clue. It's incredible when you start seeing the reflections. There's things that you, as an individual character, right, have chosen to overcome, or attachments. There's issues that are important for you to overcome. And guess what? It will be reflected in every person in your family, literally. Oh, wow, we've all got that in common. Oh, okay, wow. There we are. That's why you chose them. It was, and your friends, sometimes you weren't aware that, unless I tell you, that they had the same negative experiences or trauma. But often that trauma or abuse will be reflected right throughout, if it's something big, throughout your family and friend situations. You'll be able to find them. Yeah. So notice who you navigate towards. You see, it's all the same, the same empathy. We all victims. Let's all stay together. There we are. No victim here. You are creating it. You are creating it because you're holding on to that fear and hurt and all those things. And whatever you hold on to will keep coming back. You see? As they say, law of attraction or thing. All right, I think I need to get out of my pajamas now. The coffee's gone. So I had my morning meditation. My coffee, got a teeny bit of gold coffee left. And then I felt guided, who knows, to share. There's a lot that actually needs to be. Let's see. I might even start a few videos, especially on shadows, and to help people. And I might do videos to help people navigate their shadows and reflections. I might do a series on that purely to help people individually as well. Oh, you're welcome. You are so welcome. Well, that's what I'm saying. The love, understand, because I do now. I know everyone is the self, and I've seen it. So all are me, not and the body, not the body. Don't look at this person. All are the divine. There's only the divine here. So when I serve, whoever I serve you, I serve the tree, whatever love I give is the self. Whatever you give out, that love is going to the self. It comes back. You see, you're serving yourself by serving anyone, any others, because it is you. There's only the divine here. You see. And you have love and sympathy and understandings because this one, if you go back to its earlier videos on TikTok, where, it experienced, because it believed that this is what you were taught, that something can possess you. All these negative entity attachments, all these things. This one went through all of that. Until it learned its lesson. Oh, okay. Ooh, I have power. Whatever you give power to will have power over you. Whatever you releases you. Because I believed that, I was kept creating it until I realized, no, nothing has power over you. Because I say I'm scared of it. You can do this to me. I'm scared of you. So it's a game. So it's okay, well, this is what you want to create because you haven't got the reflection yet. So I kept creating that. That's what I'm saying. You can fight the darkness till the cows come home, and eventually, if you're trying, the angels will show you at that level. They'll show you, oh, and then you're like, okay, and then they'll teach you to love that. They'll teach you to send light and love that thing. Interesting lessons you learn. However, or you can just carry on going in circles, fighting. You're fighting yourself. Eventually, they'll come and have some compassion and tap you on the shoulder and show you. So you see my old videos were all in fear and darkness and shadow. You learn to overcome these, and by battling the dark big time, because I didn't realize. You see, it's part of the process, and depending on your story or journey and what you see, you will go through it. Yes, because you're helping yourself. Well, sometimes be careful. It's also a victim. The savior complex is a very tricky one. That's also ego, because you feel you have to save. This one was hugely like that. Wow, it was trying to do this and charity work and save everybody. Savior here, help, was massively. This one had the savior complex here. And what it's reflecting back to you is that you desperately need saving. The help, it's the self. So this, when you so you call yourself a big empath, where you feel this great empathy and people suffering, and this is what this one was like. You could energetically, especially, feel the collective suffering and pain because you're on that level. So, oh my gosh, you get so emotional, so upset, and you want to help and save everybody. You were trying, looking for all the. Watch, you'll see this reflection. I'm sure you know people. You're trying to help all those with broken, the dark sheep, the black sheep, the poor guy, the dark one, the one who's the victim, all of this, right? Because you didn't understand the mirror. You are trying to avoid, you're running away, that's what I'm saying. You are avoiding your own suffering. It's being projected. You're trying to help someone else, but not realizing it's trying to show you are the one that needs to be saved. You need to save yourself from all your own suffering, because you are inflicting that suffering on yourself. It's being reflected back to you, you see. So when you have this big empathy, I need to save and help everybody, and this charity type thing, this big, help those poor people, the victim, the whatever, suffering, right? Those that are in deep suffering, it's because it's reflected to you, and you did not understand that. You are the one that needs, you see. And this only was realized recently in the last, I was like, holy shit. And this one did this most of its life, because it had suppressed and not seen its own suffering. Big time it was suffering. You know what I mean? It kept, and that's why it resonated and felt empathy with those, because it was the That's why you can resonate and feel empathy with them, because it's trying to show you you're the bloody person that needs to release all that hurt and anger and grief and, oh my gosh, you're hanging on to all the doom and gloom and sadness and suffering. You need to release it. You need to save the self. And this is why you see a lot of people very emotional, angry, and trying to protect this one. And there's freedom fighters or whatever, warriors, you know, whatever. That is it. This is where it comes from. Because they haven't realized, haven't reflected that they have been through immense suffering. It's been hidden, it's suppressed. Some they won't even be consciously aware of. Maybe from this so-called life story or another one, childhood, all kinds of stuff. You see, you have hung on to that. You are so full of hurt and suffering. And it's overwhelming you. And it's being projected out there. But it's hidden within you. Because everything is a mirror. All right. Yeah, no, wow, did this one do it? Wow. To the extent where you would completely neglect yourself. Whether you do this with animals or anything else, you'll see that. When you are, oh my gosh, the suffering, when you get so affected by anyone else's suffering, it's because it's within you. You've got some real clearing and work to do there. When you release it, you won't have that. You'll have love and compassion, but you won't have any of that. Because you also have the understanding, you know, of what they are and what you are. So you cannot interfere on the choice on their path, because everyone is source. Source is chosen to experience that. Source is chosen to learn that lesson. Source, every single one is the one. No one is a victim here, because only the one is the only thing that exists, and that will be shown to you as you go up. You will see these things. You will see everything as you work up. There we are. That's what I say. It's because you obviously really haven't learned. This lesson is one of the ones you're really not getting it. And you are, however you're seeing this, it's so out of truth from the divine, out of the real self. It's out of alignment. It is really, you're really looking at it very wrongly, or you're not understanding. This is why you are suffering, you see. No, it's more than that. It's, you see, stop focusing on that person. They are playing a role. They are a character in a movie. Think of a movie. That person's just playing a role, and there are going to be many more. And you have a choice now to really ask. Stop. Forget about them. It's got nothing to do with them. They are not there to save you. You need to look. You're not the love of the life. You see, that's what I'm saying. We are denying. What you're doing is denying your own love, the self, the divine one. You're looking for love outside, where it is found within. You're trying to fill a hole by using by somebody else. That's the illusion, and that does not end well. You're going to go through many relationships and not find it. It's because it's trying to show you, and you will not find it until you have it here. I did the same thing, don't worry. Oh yeah, plenty. And then you end up alone. You can't understand why you never met anyone. Never worked out. Ooh. Yeah, wow. It can be quite a, well, it can be very painful. Wow, did I cry. I remember when I was about 40, I think, or 30, maybe late 30s. I was talking to an very intelligent man. You know, I hadn't woken up yet, so everything was about the consciousness, you know. But it's done his psychology, very intelligent, very, you know, tapped in man. Well, his own. Everyone's got their own filter, so there we are. And I remember, so after we broke up, still sitting and crying to him one day, why is it all you see, this is one thought. This is what you think. This is why you're wrong. All you were looking for was this wonderful person. Right, this relationship that's going to be this perfect, happily ever after, the picket fence. You've been watching Hollywood. It was all projections. We've been sold this Hollywood and the knight in shining armor bullshit. Projection is going to come, and then I'll be happy. Why can't I find someone and be happily ever after? That's Cinderella. That's projection. Outside, that's illusion, because we were in the illusion. It is within. You are seeking love and happiness outside. That's why. You see, and they're trying to teach you a lesson. You are not going, you're trying to find someone to save you. If I have that person, I will be happy. That's illusion. I cannot be happy on my own. I need, see, I will never be happy until I have my Mr. Right or Mrs. Perfect. Illusion. Because they're all you. It's trying to show you, you have that love. When you are that love, it will, what you give off is what you see, it's a mirror, will come back to you. You feel love, you become that love, you heal. And that person and that experience, that reflection will be shown back to you because it's a mirror. That's it. All it is. And I remember thinking, why can't I find, why does it never, because never mind the fact that there were so many lessons I was not seeing and they were all showing it to me. Wow. And when you start clearing them and seeing, as I say, ask for divine guidance or you can keep suffering. That's all only advice I can give you. You can stay on the path you are. I can, why me, this and that. Or you can ask, you really want to know, help, and mean it for that. Ask source, ask the angels, ask your guides to come in. You've got to willingly do that and mean it. Ask for that help, surrender. Let them comfort and guide you. You will get that love and guidance, and then you will be gently taken on the path and shown and healed and given that love. It's love that you will never find from another human, because this is an illusion. Ever. Then you will find from that. Initially, when that love is given to you, it's because you're not used to that kind of love in a human form, you're going to burst into tears. It's intense. When the Creator or the God Source or Jesus comes in form, and you will see it and feel that love, because you were taught you were so unworthy and so not ever. When it is given to you, you will break into tears. Because you are never, that frequency, because you've been in such density and darkness, you have not allowed, for centuries, we have not allowed the divine in. When you open that door, the divine comes in. Well, it's a love it's not something you've experienced from a human or from an earthly realm. And that love and that absolute unconditional love is so overwhelming because you do not get it from people. Oh, no, if you're not good, you're not going to be, you go to hell, you don't do this. But the real one, the divine, is unconditional. You are not judged. You are loved. It will bring you to tears because you're not used to that light. So slowly the light comes in. Initially, the light is so powerful in that love that it overwhelms you. This is why I say we've been hiding. You have been hiding from yourself, from the divine all this time. We fear the light, the love. We're not used to it. It's very overwhelming, that love. And then as you raise out of the darkness into light, it will not be. Because you become one with it again. It's only because you are holding all the density. So when that love and light is so different to what you are feeling and being, it is like, wow. You see, and you're used to being judged. You judging yourself and self-criticism. It's nonsense. There's no judgment from there because it is you. There's only unconditional love. Absolute unconditional love. Really. And if you're judging yourself, it will be shown back to you. You're persecuting yourself. You see, you are causing your own suffering, blaming yourself, judging yourself. All of that. And that's why it feels so bad. Okay. So really ask for that. If you don't want to, or otherwise you can carry on. Eventually you will, like this one. It might take 60 years, 50 years, or who knows. But eventually you're going to be like, I'm just like, why, Eventually you realize because you will give up. You think you can do it, and I know better, and I can, I'm this, and you realize in the end as well, you're doing nothing anyway. There's no free will as such, because it's just you playing, this thing doesn't have any, there's no separate you has any power. Yes, exactly, well there we are, you see. Exactly. Yeah. You will see. But illusion is to everything is that I'm saying. You're seeking advice. You're seeking help. You're seeking everything outside. Here the power lies because you are creating it all. There we are. So just understand your emotions, your feelings, your thought, everything is a mirror, reflection. There we are. It's just supposed to be guiding you. All right, now I really think I would like to drink something. Lots of love to all. And I will try maybe do some Or let's just see. There's no trying. Whatever's guided at the moment, there we are. Whatever comes through, as I say. You know what's meant to happen will happen. I don't try and I think this thing's doing anything. I know this thing doesn't have there's no free will here. It's an illusion of free will, I tell you. It's because this doesn't actually exist. And the real one is, you see, it's just you playing, pretending to be. The separate person, this is why you struggle, has no free will. You think this is why you struggle until you until you accept the help of the divine and the light in, then your struggling comes to an end. Or the suffering, as they say. Because you'll understand why things happen. They don't have to hurt. You see, you'll accept them and you'll know it's always for a divine purpose. Everything has. So much easier than walking blindfolded in the darkness, which humanity has, or walking in light. You can choose to take the blindfold off and stop being so stubborn and ask for help. Or you can, like this one, carry on suffering for 50 odd years until you die. Sometimes you need to die to wake up, you need such a good, to release that resistance and come back again and have a second chance, in the middle of it, whatever. All right, much love, much love. All is perfect, and you know that on the other side. This is just a dream of yours. The real you is completely untouched. Okay, always in the light, always safe, cannot die. It depends, you'll be guided. For this one, this is how this one works. It's only meditation, It's through meditation, is a visual. It does help you quite in the mind. So even if you do it in a meditative prayer form, but what's important is to be quiet, is to listen, which means whether you sit in prayer form, you sit quietly and you focus. When you really want something, you say a prayer, it's from the heart. That's what's important. So whether you're doing it via meditation or sitting in prayer like this, but with absolute intention, real from the heart, that gets answered. 3 days. It doesn't take more than 3 days. So if you're battling with a lesson and you sit in bed and you really ask Source, you ask the divine for help, for guidance, to please show me what it is I'm not seeing. Okay, please help me with this. Within 3 days, you will get it. But also ask them to show you so clearly, okay, to show you very, very clearly that you get it so you actually understand it. Because just show me doesn't mean you ask them to show you in absolute clarity so that you will understand. So however the message will come through to you, whether it's just a knowing in the shower or you're walking, whatever, the thing will come and you'll know. Oh, wow, that's it. You see? But ask for absolute clarity. Ask them to show you in such a way that you get it very clearly. Yeah, that's how the Maya works. They work together. The light cannot survive without the darkness. The darkness doesn't survive without the light. That's how the Maya works. The projection of the illusionary people you see out there, holographic, this is a movie you're actually watching out there, works by light. That's how it works. Because that's all that exists is frequency and light. That's it. Energy and vibration, whatever. That's what exists. That's all you are. There we are. Beautiful. I'll let you guys know if I come on again. Well, who knows? This was a complete random, no time. What's guided will come. All right. You have a beautiful day. And think. Hold love. All right. Bye.